everybody, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to take a look at the solos for Walk This Way by Aerosmith. Now they're pretty short and succinct little solos, and the last one's got a lot of, the second one has a lot of kind of bluesy improvisational stuff, so I'm going to really kind of cover the scales he's using there and make it easy on you to create your own thing like that. So let's take a look at the first one here. We're going to start with, it's a bend at the 10th fret on the high E string. It's a slow bend up to a whole step. Alright, then we have this quick phrase. And that's just a quick hammer on and pull off. 8 to 11, back down to 8. Pick 11 on the B string, back to 8 on the high E. Then a whole step bend on the 11th fret there on the B string. So we have so far. All right, then we climb down. We go 8th fret on the high E, 11, 8 on the B string. Then go 11, 10, 8 on the G string. Then 10, 8 again. So we get this. Then we do a whole step bend at the 10th fret. I like to bend it downwards. Bend to the 8th fret. So we have then come over and grab the 10th fret on the D. Then a half step bend. All right, so this last phrase goes like this. So that is 10 on the D, half step bend at the 10th fret on the B string. Then we're going to go 8 on the B, 10 on the G, back to 8. Pull off 10 to 11 to 8 on the G string. Then pull off 10 to 8 twice. Then do a full pull off from 11, 10 to 8 again. Hammer on the 10th fret, pull back up to 8. So we got then a whole step bend at the 11th fret on the B string. And then the 7th fret here on the D string to end that first solo. All right, now the second solo has got, well, it kind of starts with something like this. So it's kind of a weird phrase to kind of pick up what's going on in the recording. It's not the cleanest thing in the world. So what you can kind of start with is the 10th fret here on the D string twice, kind of muted. Did the 9th fret on the G. Then you're going to pick the 10th fret on the B string and slide 8 to 7 on the G string. And this part, you can kind of do something like this, which is kind of hammer 7 to 8, and then picking the 10th fret on the D string a couple times. All right, now we have this phrase, which is basically he's holding the 8th fret on the D, 9th fret on the G, 8th fret on the B. You're going to rake across the strings, just a straight downstroke across those 3 strings. Then you're going to place your pinky at the 10th fret on the B. Leave the other 2 fingers where they're at. And this time break across from the 4th string all the way to the open E string. Look at this. Kind of a weird sound. But you can kind of palm mute a little bit and keep it under control. And then bend downward to the 7th fret here on the D string. All right, the next phrase starts like this. So that's just 3rd fret here, the 5th string. So we start these little bluesy licks here, which is going to be 8 on the D string. Then you're going to hammer from 5 to 8 on the G, pull back off the 5. and do that twice. We got this. All right. Then come back. So we got this. And then do it once on the starting on the B string. So now you're on just the second and third string. Then you're going to pull off 8, 7, 5 on the G. All right, and then we're going to end this phrase. It's just a whole step bend and release at the 7th fret down to the 5th fret on the G. Do that twice. Grab the 8 on the top string, and then 7 on the D string. Then it starts really the outro section. That's really the outro solo there. Then we have this outro section which goes like this. All right, that's the beginning of it. So the bends we're doing there are all on the G string. We're going to do a whole step bend at the 2nd fret. Then going to do a whole step bend at the 4th fret. Release it, and then bend back up a step and a half. So we got. All right, then do the whole step bend, do that again, but this time you put a lot of vibrato on it. All right, then switch to the neck pickup. And we'll do the same thing, basically an octave higher. 14th fret, then 16th fret. So it goes a whole step, bend, then release it, then bend back up to a step and a half. All right, so we got. All right, then we're going to go, just pick the 16th fret and slide down the string, and then do that whole step to step and a half bend again. All right, now we get to the part what's kind of like an improvised type blues section. These things are kind of all over the place. Really the best thing, I'm going to kind of start you off with a few licks that he's doing there, but he's pretty much using one scale form, which is this E minor pentatonic. All right, so you're going to build a lot of your solos out of that, or the octave down of that. So let me just take you through a little bit of what he's doing, how he starts this. He goes. All right, so it's just a bunch of that kind of E minor stuff. So let's talk about some of those licks real quick, just to get you started. So we go high E string, then pull off 15 to 12 on the B. Pre-bend a whole step, the 15th fret on the B string. Then pick 12, then a pre-bend again. That's just 12, then 15, 14, 12 on the G string. Half step bend at the 14th fret on the G. 12 to 14 on the D string while coming over and playing the 14th fret on the B together. Get that little dissonance in it. All right, then he has this, which he does a few times in this solo, so it's kind of good to learn it. It's a whole step half step from 12 to 13, then pick 12 on the B, 12 on the high E, whole step bend at the 15th fret. All right, then he just kind of does a lot of, and with those same two notes we did the first one, or you can do the full A major if you want. All right. Then he does, instead of doing a hammer-on, he just kind of slides to the 13, then 12, 12, to the 15th on the bend on the high E string. Then the only time he really leaves this area, that box, is coming up to the 17th fret with a whole step bend. For just a series of holding the bend and picking it. Then he's back. All right, then we go an octave down, so it's a bunch of just, which is a second fret, kind of bend and release, open string, then the second fret on the D. Then he does these kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan licks where he's doing a whole step bend at the 3rd fret. Then you release the strings and pick those two strings, the 1st and 2nd string open, with a down and up. All right, so it's basically, this music starts fading out after all that stuff. So really, there's 2 solos that you can kind of get down note for note, and then there's that little outro section, which is, you know, a bunch of you know, meandering blues soloing, which is I always think best just to kind of know what he's doing and kind of create your own thing with it. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed these lessons for Walk This Way. It was fun doing. I'll see you on the next song. All right, bye-bye.